Okay, so now we're gonna look into your career. Money and career. All right. Let's just start what I have on the table. So first one is every step counts. There's an advantage in taking things slowly. Breathe deeply and fully as you consider your options. So I love it because it's a little sea slug. And as you know, snails go at a snail pace. They're slower, right? They're more calculated. They're cautious. So this is saying every step counts when it comes to your finances and when it comes to your job. So everything that you're doing right now, there's a reason for it. Even if the career path or the money flow isn't as fast as you would like it to be, there's a reason for the slow pace of the journey, okay? The enjoy the journey card again is coming up for you. So this one again is telling me to stay in the present moment when it comes to your job, when it comes to your career path, to stay in the present moment. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to have to perform just like everybody else, that you have to have like the same end results as everybody else. Like, stop comparing, just do your thing, right? The healing card came up for you when it comes to the money stuff. So I feel like there's, some healing that maybe that has to do with the way you accept or the way you see money, or maybe it has to do too with the career. If there's, relationships there with people that you work with, healing from that. Maybe it's healing from, I don't know, a shift that maybe you're going through in your job. I'm not quite sure how the healing one is coming out to play. I do see the healing though there's a lot of people involved in the card, or a lot of mermaids, I should say. So maybe this is also healing the bonds or your connections with the people you work with. So I don't know how the energy has been in the workplace, but maybe there's, maybe you guys are just like starting to come together again. Things are working out. We have miracles coming up for you, and then also patience. So miracles tells me that there's going to be little hidden blessings coming up in the near future as far as work or money is involved. I love that because I feel like these are gentle little gifts that you're going to be receiving that maybe you weren't expecting. And this it could be good stuff, right? It could be an increase in pay. It could be an opportunity that maybe you didn't see coming, right? So unexpected miracles. But then I also see patience too, and patience again coming up for you is to have patience in this process. So I do see patience as being a common theme with you in your reading. And I don't know if that is just something that naturally you just have these expectations of wanting it now versus, being patient in the process. I know for me, I couldn't stand it when people would tell me to be patient when I was waiting for my, to be able to do my dream job, which is what I'm doing now. But sometimes we have to, right? We have no choice. So the patience card is coming up quite a bit for you too. And I feel like it's kind of like a similar reminder too, is that things are going to develop and things are going to happen in your favor. It's just, you got to be patient in this process and enjoy the journey, right? Don't try to fast forward your life to be in the future. I wish we could sometimes. Yeah, that would be great. But at the same time, you're being told to just be patient in this process, hold out for it. You, the muse, is coming up. So you being your own source of inspiration, okay? When it comes to your job, when it comes to your money. I think I also feel like that's like goes hand in hand too with working from your heart source, right? Fearless expression. I love it. So I know I was feeling the hang up with the throat chakra for you earlier. So how is your expression? How is your voice? How is you utilizing your voice more so? When it comes to the career, are you utilizing your voice? Are you putting your thoughts out there when it comes to, like staff meetings and like, you know, teamwork and stuff like that? Are you utilizing your voice? Fearless expression to me is when you speak your mind and you're not afraid of speaking your mind. And then also with your mind and with your words, there's also the muse is saying you are inspiring. So maybe you're inspiring other people in your vicinity of work. It's so funny because the same cards keep popping up. So 5 of Pentacles is also coming up, and so is 10 of Pentacles. So if you've been going through a recent patch of, you know, difficulties with the finances or money isn't as great or the flow of it, you're going to come out of that. The 10 of Pentacles shows like abundance flow. So you're going to be able to come out of that little bit of a hiccup with your career. And maybe that's where the miracle card is. So maybe it is a raise in pay. Maybe it is, you know, an opportunity that you weren't expecting. So kind of, you know, put that on your mind, like keep it in the back of your head. 7 of Cups. Yeah. So keep it on the back of your head, that like the back of your mind, that there is a possibility of an unexpected miracle taking place in your life with work. But I don't want you to obsess over it. Okay. I want you to just know something good is going to come, but you're not quite sure yet when or what it is. It's just know something great is going to happen. It's going to shift that mindset, that 5 of Pentacles mindset of feeling like, you know, but like feeling like you're without, or feeling like you don't have enough of, right? The 7 of Pentacles, I'm sorry. Oh my God, I keep getting these suits messed up. The 7 of Cups is also coming up for you, which is telling me that there's going to be an opportunity to choose, right? You're going to have that feeling, that energy of being able to choose, something more. Your priorities might be changing. There might be an opportunity for something different, a different flow when it comes to your money. So I think something good is going to happen. But I don't want to go too deep into that because I don't want to surrender to setting limits. I don't want you to start to obsess over like, ooh, what is this thing going to be? How much money am I going to make? You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like there's going to be some abundant miracle taking place. Surrendering to setting limits. It is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs, and remember that no is a complete sentence. That's interesting too, because for every step counts. What was the card? The healing card with your work relationships. And then, this one. Fearless expression. Sometimes saying no is important. Sometimes saying no is just vital, right? For self-care, but also for like, if you're just not feeling it at work with a certain thing, if you don't want to do it, you know, and if it's like a voluntary, like an option where you can volunteer to do something and you don't, say no, right? So that's also coming up too for a surrender card, is don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to speak up for yourself and say, hey, this doesn't align with what I want. This doesn't feel right for me. I'm not going to be able to do it, or no, I'm not available. Okay. So I think that's what I'm going to leave it at that. I get a little bit hung up when it comes to the career topics because career isn't my favorite to read about. I'm more into love and all of that, but career is, I think it's because my own personal career path was just like the most difficult for me. So I just have like a weird hang up with it when it comes to reading for career for people. I'm just like, ugh. So I'm gonna leave it as is before I just completely butcher it. Okay. So let's go into the topic of your spirituality. So from what you wrote in your spiritual path, you're looking for, you know, ways that you can enhance your abilities. It sounds like you want to enhance it, or just ways that you can work with it. So when I was reading that, I have to say the first thing that came to mind is, why don't you start practice reading, right? Practicing your mediumship, or joining a mediumship circle is also something I was going to say. So there's different types of mediumship circles, but basically a mediumship circle is a small group of mediums who are developing. And it's like a private group where you could practice readings on one another, or they sometimes, different circles have different things. So there's classes within that circle. There are, guest speakers. There's sitting in the power, which is, it's like meditation, but it's not meditation. You're just kind of sitting in your own energy and becoming familiar with your energy. But it's fun because it's within a small group of people. So you meet people, you make friends. I'm in one. It's called the Initiation, and it's a subscription. So I pay $75 a month. And I think we have about 63 people in it right now. And every Friday morning we sit in the power for 30 minutes. It's like a Zoom call. We sit in this power meditation thing for 30 minutes. And then we have guest speakers every month. We have practice readings. And then you can also volunteer to do more practice readings each week. It doesn't just have to be mediumship. It could be psychic readings. It could be whatever your specialty is. But it's just a really cool way to meet people too. So there's paid mediumship circles that you could find, or there's also free ones. The free ones can be a little bit because, you're not going to get the best out of it, in my opinion. I've been in a free mediumship circle before, and I had to leave because the teacher, the main teacher, was just awful. So keep that in mind too. You get what you pay for. So if you're not paying anything for it, it may not be the best, or you may be lucky and it may be like the best thing ever. So you just never know. But there's that too. So I do suggest a mediumship circle if that's the route you want to go. You could probably even find a psychic circle too, like a group of people that just you want to talk about your abilities with or learn from. Taking a class, I always say take classes. It just keeps you in the mood, and it just really helps. So taking a class, ask your guides to lead you to where you need to go. That's how I found my current mentor. I found her on Instagram at random. But I also set the intention with Spirit, like, lead me to my next teacher. I want to take a mediumship course, and it ended up being a 6-week boot camp. So they could be pricey, I will say, but it just depends on what your budget is and if it's something you really want to do. So I would say classes, practice readings, and get into some sort of a private group with people. So check your Facebook, check, I don't really think you could do much mediumship circles on Instagram. It seems like it's Facebook. I don't care for Facebook very much. But I have one for that purpose, so. Oh, I love this card for you. Okay. Surrender to Spirit. Obviously for your spiritual journeys. Surrender to Spirit. Once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let Spirit work its magic for you. So Spirit is saying to surrender to me, right? Surrender to your spirit guides, surrender to God energy, surrender to your higher self, meaning you give up your control to do things your way, and you do it Spirit's way. This is just what I was saying too. If you want to take a course or join a circle, set the intention and ask your guides to lead you to where you need to go, right? You have to give them permission to intervene in your life. So asking them to help you, and trust what you get, right? Trust the signs, every subtle sign. But you got to surrender to Spirit. You can't always control it, and it may not always look like or feel like what you think or what you expect it to be, okay? So that was the biggest lesson I learned when it comes to mediumship, is that it's not how I thought it was. When I realized how subtle it is and how simple it can be, I was like, wow, that was kind of anticlimactic. So keep that in mind too. Mediumship is it's fun and exciting, but it's a very healing journey. It's not for everyone. And sometimes you'll realize once you're able to do it, you're like, wow, that's it. Like, that's how I felt. It was very anticlimactic. It was just, it wasn't as wow, you know, like it's still amazing to be able to do the readings for people, but it wasn't as insane or intense as I thought it was going to be. So just trust me, surrender to spirit. You got to ask your guides, ask spirit to lead the way and to show you where you need to go next, and trust what comes into your mind. So there's that. There's contemplation and contentment. So contemplation tells me that when it comes to your spiritual journey, you're probably too much in your head. You're too much in the ego, right? Because when we're contemplating, we are thinking. That's the opposite of what you want to do when you're doing your readings or when you're connecting, whether you're doing readings with the cards or whether you're doing mediumship reading or whatever. Being too much in the contemplative mindset, too much in the thoughts, is the ego, and you don't want to be there. You have to surrender to spirit. Surrender to your feelings, your sensations, your emotions, your heart. That's where the connections come from. That's even with reading cards. You can't overthink. If you're overthinking, you're not in your higher self. So there's that. They're also bringing up contentment and to just simply be like a simplified way of being, just being content with where you're at right now, and don't put so much pressure on yourself to be a certain way, okay? The level that you're at right now will change as you go through your development, but be nice to yourself. So the other cards we have is help. Help appears in various ways. I love it. I'm not even going to read the little blurb. I just intuitively, this is saying, you're going to receive help. You're going to receive your guidance from your guides in symbols and forms. You're going to receive assistance from spirit or from higher self in different ways. So you have to trust it, okay? Seeing both sides, that's being able to see in the earthly realm and then spirit life, right? So being able to tap into both worlds, this is how I see that for you. So I feel like the cards are definitely affirming that your mediumship is there and it can grow and further develop, okay? Gliding through currents. This is going with the flow. When you're gliding, you're just going with the flow. You're not trying to fight it. So what I want you to do for that is, I really feel like maybe getting yourself involved in a class. I think a class of some sort would be very helpful. I think it's, we're always developing. You're never going to be at the finish line. That's the thing you have to accept when it comes to your spirituality or your journey with psychic abilities or mediumship or both. There's no finish line. We are always able to develop further. Okay. Or you can also reach a point of contentment where you're satisfied with the way you read and then that's it. But eventually you're going to outgrow yourself. Trust me. So the Tower card is coming up. This is, that life-changing turn of events that may take place. I do feel like that kind of makes sense too when it comes to your mediumship or when it comes to any of your developments. It's going to be life-changing. That's always what happens when it comes to this path. So, you know how that is. The Wheel of Fortune is also coming up, which is the shift in the cycle. So this is telling me that Spirit is saying a life-changing, groundbreaking aha moment for you, and your life will never be the same after that. The Wheel of Fortune is saying you're going to start moving again, the flow. And then we have the Star card, which is healing. So I love it. I feel like these three cards coming up as major, strong cards with this reading is just saying your spiritual journey it's not over. The further development that you do is going to be groundbreaking. So the Tower card is showing there's going to be some big shifts happening in your near future. The Wheel of Fortune is saying your cycle is going to be turning, right? You're going to be doing some different stuff. And then the Star card is saying your spirituality is where your healing is. So I do feel, and I always tell my clients this, I do feel like our paths are very much connected. So your love life, I know, and I think I've said this to you before, the further you develop your spirituality, I feel like maybe your love life will get better or your career life will change, right? They're all they're locked. They're like interlinked is what I want to say. Like they cross paths. So perhaps with the spiritual, as you continue to develop, you may see your love life changing. So it's a healing process for you. And spirituality is healing in general, so it doesn't surprise me that the star came up. Celebrate your wins. So one way too is with your psychic abilities or your mediumship is to celebrate the good things. Celebrate the powerful, positive things that have taken place so far, right? Celebrating the wins. Don't just wait for the next best thing. Celebrate what the accomplishments that you have so far. The distraction of shiny things. So the distraction of shiny things, what is that? You know, are you obsessed with cards? Is that a shiny thing for you? Are you obsessed with crystals, right? Don't get so hung up on the tools, okay? Especially if you're going to do mediumship development. Mediumship doesn't need this. We don't need this. This is just to help our intuition. I don't need this technically, but I love it because it's just a part of what I do. I've always done the cards. It's always been my thing, but I don't need it. You know, so as you further develop in your abilities, you realize the reading is all in the heart and in your feelings. It's not so much in the cards, but the cards are fun, right? So those are the shiny things for me. So what is it for you? Don't get hung up on the tools. Have your cards, but don't tell yourself, I need the cards to do a bomb ass reading. You don't. I need my crystal to be connected. You don't. I just like to have it, right? I need my candle to open sacred space. No, I can open it without it, but I love to do it. So I hope that helped. I would just say start practice reading, you know, do some practice readings for people. Get involved in a mediumship circle or a course, something, because I know when I'm taking a class, I'm very much in the mood, right? I just love it. When I'm not, like right now, I'm not in a class. I am in the mediumship circle, but I'm not in a class. So when I'm not, I'm kind of like, I know I can do the mediumship, but it's not as active in me, right? So I do suggest getting into some sort of class. All right. Oh, and then also sit in the power, okay? So sitting in the power is simply you turn on some music, you sit down or lay down, you quiet yourself, and you just start to get comfortable and familiar with your energy. What does your energy feel like? Opening your heart. It's not meditation, but it is meditation, but you're not sitting in the power to connect with a spirit guide. You're just sitting in the power to feel your energy and to bring it outward, to feel what it feels like to be in high vibration, okay? When you're meditating, you meditate with a goal, whether it's to connect with your spirit guide or to connect with a past loved one or to find an answer within yourself or whatever. But sitting in the power is simply feeling your energy grow to know what it feels like to be in the higher power, your high vibration. So I also recommend doing that, okay? Okay, so last but not least, the future forecast. So do please keep in mind that the future can change based off of your present actions. Nothing is set in stone. I love these cards. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. First off, we have inner desires. Okay. Set some intentions. You are entering a phase of plenty or may have a sudden windfall. Goals are within your grasp. I love it. So when we talk about a sudden windfall, this is the abundance. Remember I was saying earlier in your reading, There's going to be an abundance happening in your life, most likely with the money, but we'll see how it goes. It could change. This is what this card is saying. There's going to be a windfall of something great happening in your near future. So when I look at the future, it's no more than like a year. I don't like to go too far in advance. So your inner desires, what are your inner desires? What is it that you want? What is it that you crave the most? Those are the intentions I want you to start to set for yourself for the near future. Open your heart to accepting what you need to receive. The mystery card came up, and that's what made me laugh, because I feel like when it comes to the future, Spirit doesn't want you to know what that is. So they're putting a block there of saying it's a mystery. You're not supposed to know. So I'm going to obey that. And I'm not going to try to tap in deeper of what that is. So we'll just let it be, and we'll accept that that is what that is. Spirit is saying something is going to happen. There's going to be a turning point in your life, but they don't want you to know it's a mystery. So as far as the surrender cards go, surrender to your full power. So when it comes to the future, they want you to surrender to your full power, finding your inner lion, right? Finding your inner beast. They want you to really work with the solar plexus, because this is all yellow, yellow, yellow. Really, really working with your solar plexus chakra. Surrender to the fear of intimacy. So this is another one they want you to work on in the near future, is to work on the fears that we talked about with the love life, okay? Those hangups that you have that are keeping you from opening the door to a new relationship, they want you to work on that. Surrender to worry. I love it. So they're also bringing up, don't worry about little things, the details. That's what they're bringing up, is stop worrying about the details. Sometimes you just aren't supposed to know. Sometimes it doesn't work out the way you want it to, and that's just the end of the story. That's literally how Spirit is making me feel. It's like they're scolding you, but in a loving way. Surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. That's the other card that came up a second time for you. So they really want you to do the work of getting rid of those outdated beliefs about yourself, these hangups with the love life. They want you to just get rid of that stuff. They want you to start to see yourself in a different set of eyes, okay? You just got to get rid of that working. And I feel like too, working more with your spirituality and your abilities and going through the healing process of that, I feel is going to help you. So there's not so much you could do about the love life other than putting yourself out there, going on dates, meeting people. Obviously, like that's the most you can do, but you can't force someone else to love you, and you can't force someone else to like you. So if you're holding out for a certain somebody, again, I will say stop doing that. Okay. Maybe it's just you have to accept that that person isn't the one, and that's okay, right? So, and if you're not doing that, then don't worry about it then. But there's just some reason that came up, so I gotta trust what I get. The Knight of Pentacles is coming up, which is the card of patience. It is the card of patience. Six of Pentacles is coming up too, which is the balance between that energy exchange of you and life. I want to say you and universe. And then the Judgment card is receiving the higher calling from Spirit or your guides. So I do feel like as much as love life is a thing for you, I feel like there's work that has to be done with that. And I feel like that work is also going to be achieved as you continue your spiritual process, your spiritual journey. I think they're interlocked. Okay. They're interlinked, or they're going to cross paths somewhere. The Six of Pentacles is that balance, that energy exchange between you and life is what I want to say. So what you put out to the world, you're going to get it back. It's law of attraction. Judgment, pay attention to the higher calling, but also give your guides permission to ask them to lead you to the next class or the course or the teacher that you need to work with to develop your abilities, if that's the path you want to go. And then the Knight of Pentacles is patience. So really beautiful reading for the future. I do see that there's going to be some more eye-opening things. Hold out for the beautiful miracle. Spirit won't let me go into that even further. So I just keep your thoughts positive. The law of attraction, what you put out to the universe, you receive it back. So just be very mindful of that. But also, I do feel like something big is going to happen this year, and they just don't want me to tell you what it is. So I don't even know if I want to know what it is. Sometimes it's just, we got to be trusting that our life is going to develop the way it's meant to. So trust the process. But for some reason, I'm just hearing from Spirit October. So keep in mind the number 10 or October for this, but don't obsess over it. Okay. So my love, whew, that was quite a reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I hope that these messages made sense. I hope that it gave you lots of stuff to think about. Thank you so much for being patient, and I hope that you enjoyed, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, love.